Hello, I'm Brian Murphy, Director of Technology for Lincoln Way High School District 210. I'd like to take a few minutes to discuss with you a couple of items that will be presented at the May 17th board meeting. The first of which is the bandwidth agreement. As part of our strategic plan developed by the community, we were charged with assessing and increasing the amount of bandwidth provided to the district. Currently, we have 500 megabits of bandwidth coming in. Prior to us going to Office 365 with the staff, we were maxing out at around 50% of our total utilization. Today, we're holding steady around 70%, with all of our staff utilizing Office 365, which is our cloud-based email and storage. It's important to note that we're currently under contract with Comcast until the end of the 2017-2018 school year. If we were to leave Comcast, we would be subject to a cancellation fee of approximately $32,000. As we continue through this discussion today, please keep in mind that our current monthly charges with Comcast exceed $10,000. Another important note is that we're eligible for federal funding through E-rate for our bandwidth. In order to maximize the amount of funding we receive, we've worked with our E-rate consultant company, Telesolution Consultants. We've been working with this company for the last 10 years. This past year we received approximately $50,000 in E-rate funding, and then our consulting company gets a small percentage of our rebate as compensation. We're currently being funded at 40% of our eligible costs for E-rate. So as our costs will continue to decrease, so will the funding we receive. With the assistance of our Telesolution Consultants, we receive pricing from 4 different providers. The results are in your backup material. The request that was sent out was for 2 gigs of network bandwidth to Lincoln Way Central with a 1 gig connection to both Lincoln Way East and Lincoln Way West. We also asked for a 100 meg connection to our transportation center. This request was designed so that our network infrastructure would be able to handle an increase in bandwidth without replacing any equipment. As with most upgrades, an area of concern is whether the hardware will be able to handle all this increased traffic. We've consulted with a number of vendors and have determined that we can implement an upgrade without changing our current hardware. However, we will be putting our current hardware to its limits. We will be maxing out the amount of bandwidth that it is able to handle on the way in and what it's able to put out on the end. So we will continue to monitor this throughout the year, and we will have a plan in place should we need to replace or upgrade the hardware. That would be included in next year's budget. After carefully reviewing all the submissions, it was determined that Comcast would continue to provide Lincoln Way with the lowest cost for what our current environment can handle. The monthly charge from Comcast would be $6,086 and includes Central, East, West, and transportation. We'd also need a small connection to Lincoln Way North for purposes of phones, cameras, security, etc. This connection would be $414 a month and is the same as the connection that's being provided to the transportation center. The total monthly recurring cost to Comcast would then be approximately $3,500 less than what we're currently paying, so a total of $6,500 a month. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I can discuss this in further detail if necessary. Another charge of the strategic plan was to improve the ratio of devices to end users. More specifically, to purchase teacher devices that support a blended learning environment and provide teachers with current technology. Over the past year, we've worked with a number of vendors and a number of different devices. As you can see behind me here, they range from Chromebooks to MacBooks and everything in between. All of these devices have been put in the hands of our teachers to allow their input in assisting making a final decision on what device we should go with. This process narrowed down to 3 different laptops. And I'll show them to you here. This is a Lenovo 260, a Lenovo N23, and a Lenovo 11E. The most common feature between all of these devices is the ability to convert from a laptop to a tablet. Being able to move around the room without a bulky keyboard made the end user experience even more pleasing. In your backup material, I provided you with pricing of all three of these laptops. All have similar functionality, differing only in the processor, the memory, and the durability of the device. As teachers continued working with the devices, it was determined that the majority of the staff would best utilize the Lenovo 11E, while the PPS and PE departments would best utilize the Lenovo N23. What separates these two devices from the E260 again is the rugged design. These things are built for tougher and rougher conditions, as well as the built-in stylus. The Lenovo 260 has a built-in stylus, whereas the 11E and the N23 do not. The rugged design is of higher importance for us with the longevity of the devices and the conditions that they're going to be being used in. For the Lenovo 11E, GovConnection actually provided the lowest price, but after careful investigation, it is determined that the device that they were quoting us did not allow for the full 360-degree tablet mode. It only allowed for 180 degrees. So what that means is that the tablet that they provided would only be able to open to here. It was not able to completely flip around to be a full tablet. This is a feature that was most important for our staff. Other differences included the processors and the different screens, all which make a difference in the end user experience. With all those factors taken into consideration, it'd be my recommendation to purchase the Lenovo 11E and the Lenovo N23 from ATS. They have provided the lowest cost for the equipment that we're looking to purchase. We've been working with ATS for the past few years. They continue to provide exceptional service and quality product for us. A couple of other feeder districts are also utilizing ATS for their technology purchases based upon our recommendations and our experiences. I think it's important to note that 5 years ago, ATS provided 700 desktop computers for us. Those desktops are in wonderful condition. They're being used on a daily basis, and they are lasting. If you have any further questions, please give me a call, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.